Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for giving me a voice. I will today talk about lignin polymers, basing on article written by Professor Thomas Eberhard from Mississippi University with cooperation with Zhejiang, China of Wenqi University and Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, United States. Their article is saying about how can be biorefinery reuse these ways, which are lignin, according after lignosul's separation. The lignin is 20 to 50% of waste, and this is a huge amount of waste that can be reorganized to form polymers. Polymers in polymers unit are cylinder guaiaco in grass or in herbaceous plants, while in conifers and guaianaceae. This material can be good material for polymers replacement. The thermostatic polymers can be one of the such cases, used as laminate coatings, automatives, and mostly from petroleum. Owing the presence of phenolic groups, wood lignin can be reorganized, but the processes are still very long because usually from wood, which is hardly to process, but can be from hardwood more easily, and epoxy still possess challenges and due to inherent structural heterogeneity, but it's possible manner. The modified lignin formaldehyde from similar lignin-based epoxy resin with not sound good but can be as replacement or for polyurethane. This can be obtained by lower enzymes and chemical modification also. It's usually by this formaldehyde and fractionation. So polyurethane polyols. And this homogenization. Absolutely. And homogenization. This is mostly black liquor by carbon fibers can be obtained which can be stored by membrane separation into fractionation and dissolutionization. The most fiber fabrication is from sorghum, which as a reaction for acetic and acid precipitation obtain uniform lignin with microstructure. But still ratio is very hard to obtain again of different cylinder-guaiaco ratio is not easily to find, and these are otherwise a hardwood and cedar, which are linkage were still linear correlated, and tensile fiber with quite good strength materials. But maple can be cedar is not slowly growing, and waste maybe from sugar maple can be, but still is also another point. Yellow poplar chips are very popular and can be good for thermostabilization of this. And other compounds for which were found is spent coffee grounds. And these fabricated carbon fibers are very efficient, great performance with low polymer diffraction index. The poplar would also give good results after organosolve process and thermostabilization. The other campaign can be by producing of electrodes that can be used for carbon process as microelectrode cells, and is otherwise good method to make this lignin uses as production of electrodes after charring, and this show another coils. This gives rules that the few rules that can be fibers, electrodes, and polyurethane replacement. This is very optimistic and giving that can be our by lignin replace our conventional dependence and fossil fuel dependence, replace with something more renewable and more sustainable. Therefore, is very important, and thank you for giving me a voice.